serious with this session, we are going to jump right in. Hi, I am Kehinde Ogundana. I am the head of internship experience here at Amdari, and you can see Kehinde, like her energies are already radiating. She is a data science consultant working with us here at Amdari. So before we proceed and get all serious with this session, I would really want to know, is this the very first time you are hearing of Amdari? Have you come across Amdari before? Because the whole essence, I say this all the time, the whole essence of data analytics is for you to, based off past trends, what you can know about what has happened previously, you will be able to make decisions. So I need the responses in the chat, guys. Let me just pull up my slides and we would be good to go. All right, so I need our responses in the chat. Is this the first time we are joining an Amdari session? Are we newbies, or we've attended an Amdari session before? Guys, I can see that we're a lot on this call. That's from Busayo to Stanley to Florence to Gabriel to Yanda. If I'm pronouncing your name wrongly, I'm sorry. But I need the responses in the chat, guys. I want to know if you have joined Amdari before. All right, so the main goal of this session is for you to understand that you can cross the level of being just a beginner. All right, we can look at the topic that we have today, end-to-end predictive analytics of jewelry sales prices. And most times we might think that, okay, it's Brima, it's Efemena, they've been doing this for a long time, so they are proficient and all of that. But we are having somebody, you can see her already on the call, that's Kehinde, Mrs. Kehinde, let me put it in quotes, okay? So she has been intentional about closing this knowledge gap, and she would be demoing that to you. That's in a project that she has worked on. Okay, so I saw a response in the chat as regards your knowledge of Amdari. So if you are just joining any of our sessions for the first time, our sole goal at Amdari is to help you bridge the gap in terms of your competency level. So without reading from my slides, let's say you have learned data analytics, data science, data engineering, cybersecurity, and all of that. You've gone through the foundational basics, okay? But now you want to become industry proficient. I don't know if you've heard this phrase before. What you learn theoretically or what you learn in books is actually different from what happens in real life. So what we do at Amdari, we've noticed that there's like a skill gap, there's a knowledge gap. Yes, you have learned the basics, that's fine, that's cool. But in terms of what diversity, in terms of different projects, in terms of different use cases in quotes, how do you apply the skills that you have learned in solving problems? That is just in simple terms what we do here at Amdari. Our vision from my slides, you can see, is to revolutionize the way people acquire industry knowledge and experience. So moving to my next slide, this is my humble self. I am Kehinde Ogundana. I am also a data scientist, and I am the head of operations here at Amdari. And I say this all the time, I don't have a degree in computer engineering or computer science, or, okay, I didn't study data science as an undergrad. So I successfully transitioned and upskilled in data science. So the advantage that you have right now is you don't have to sleep on YouTube or go to Stack Overflow or look up a lot of resources on the internet just trying to be proficient. Amdari has provided you a consolidated access to all of these resources. Okay, so to my next slide, what we'll be doing in today's session, I can see our comments coming into the chats. So in today's session, I'm just passing by. Okay, so everything here would be handled by Kehinde. So we'll start off with the project presentation. That is a project that Kehinde herself has worked on. So you'd see the entire process from, your business understanding, trying to know what the problem you are trying to solve is, before moving on to, that's your exploratory data analysis, going into in-depth in your data, exploring the trends and patterns, before now moving to the aspect of prediction. Then for the next thing, your pathway to becoming technically proficient, then our special offer from us here at Amdari, and we'll have a Q&A session. I know that you might be interested or you might still be unclear as to regards, oh, let's say what Kehinde would do, because I believe you'll be amazed. Okay, so we have a particular session for this. Right after Kehinde's session, I would come back up to demo what we do here at Amdari, and then we'll have a Q&A session and we'll be done for the day. So at this point, I am welcoming Kehinde back. So Kehinde, as I mentioned, is a data science consultant here at Amdari, and I believe she's well loaded. I can feel the enthusiasm from us. Okay, so before I call her on board, I need a reaction from us. I literally feel so alone here, right? I need you guys to comment or react that you're good to go, that you're excited for the session and you're ready to learn. Okay, so I need you to don't think so much about the code. Don't be amazed, all right? Or don't be shocked and start thinking about your life. Okay, just be patient and you'll be good to go. So I'll just stop sharing and Kehinde, you can go on.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me here. I'm Amdari team, and thank you for just this opportunity. So let me just share my slide. Hold on, please. Can everybody see my screen, please? Hello?
Oh, yes, we can. We can now.
Okay, so I'm here to present end-to-end sales predictive analysis in respect of this project titled Jewelry Price Optimization using Machine Learning. Now, let me start by introducing the company called Gemini Emporium. They are into luxurious goods and jewelries, and they are known for their craftsmanship, quality, and innovation. Currently, they are experiencing some challenges in pricing of their goods. One of them is that they're currently relying on manual pricing by geomorphologists and appraiser experts, which is quite expensive and time-consuming. Everybody knows that if you employ AI or machine learning to do this process, it will be faster and less expensive. Another problem that they are also experiencing, they are facing the risk of losing their customers to price-sensitive items. For example, if there are some customers that if the item of an item is expensive, they won't buy. So they're facing that kind of risk. And at the same time, they are facing the risk of underpricing some of their goods, thereby reducing their profit. One of the objectives of this goal is to use machine learning to optimize their sales volume and profit margins, and also to implement dynamic pricing to respond swiftly to market trends. Moreover, in addition to the machine learning, we need to use machine learning to be able to automate pricing in order to cut out the use of manual pricing by the geomorphologists and appraiser experts. In order to achieve this project, there's a need to adopt the cross-industry standard process for data mining framework. Here, we need to first of all understand the business goals and challenges, also explore the data and evaluate the data quality, undo the missing data, outliers, and transformation before we now go ahead to model, evaluate, and deploy. Tools that you required are Pandas, NumPy, Seaborn, Scikit-learn, and the IDE tools such as Google Colab, VS Code, among others. MLflow is used for experiment tracking and model management. In reviewing the data set given, the data set contains about 95,000 rows and 13 features. The features include order details, jewelry categories, material attribute, and of course, the target variable. Key observations about this data set. About 69% of the features had missing values, ranging from 4% to 50%. This is a lot for a data set that is just about 100,000. And that means in the future, in the next slide of data preparations, we need to fill in some missing values. I also observed that there were duplicate values as well. as well as data quality issues. The jewelry category column, which contains values like pendant, earrings, includes incorrect numerical entries. This clearly highlights the need for data correction. The next step is data preparation and cleaning, whereby we perform EDAs, address the missing values, duplicate, corrupt entries, and undo outliers as well. Under the exploit data analysis, the price distribution ranges from less than $1 to like $35,000, with a mean of $362. This clearly indicates that this price distribution is highly vitally skewed with a potential for outliers, or could it be possible that premium items? Now, under the categorical feature distributions, majority of their customers are female, which is about 99%. That's a lot. And their male buyers are less than 1%. Wow, that means we love our jewelries, right? For the main colors, the main and the most common is that of red. And the main metals, the common and the most preferred is gold, while diamond is the preferred gems for diamond. For jewelry categories, it's obvious that the most prized or the most purchased item is the earrings, followed by rings. Under the data cleaning processes, I lost about 20% of the data due to cleaning and incorrect values, duplicated rules, and outliers. After cleaning, there was a need to drop irrelevant features such as order ID, product ID, these are not relevant for price prediction. Then after that, there was a need to conduct a correlation analysis using the FIC-IT method, map rather. This analysis revealed that there are moderate association between price and main gem, which is about 0.4. Price and category is about 0.31, and there are weak correlations between price and gender, which is 0.06. This kind of association is so weak that I don't have a strong correlation. Strong correlation when using this figmas is when it's closer to 1. As you can see, I can't see anything above the 0.5 here. This clearly shows that I cannot use linear regression for this model. Linear regression is suitable for when there is linear relationship between variables, and it's like if the variables, the relationship is starting from 0.6 and above. Now, if I use linear regression in this situation, I will not get the best results. So, enforce the need for more complex model. As I said, under the model selection, I decided to go for the model for the 4 complex models: random forest, SGB regressor, gradient boosting, and LGBM rather. Selecting these models is because I selected the model because they are known for their strong performance in regression tasks, their ability to handle non-linear relationships, and they are known for their robustness, scalability, and hyperparameter tuning flexibility. Before we actually go ahead to train our model, there was a need to perform hyperparameter tuning. I used the research method with 5-fold cross validation. And the best parameters are identified and shown on the slide. This is a regression task, and this calls for chosen metrics for R square, which is coefficient of determination, mean absolute error, or mean square error. Either one of the metrics are good to go. The coefficient of determination measures goodness of fit. Mean absolute error evaluates average prediction error. Ladies and gentlemen, the result is shown on the slide. This is a poor result. The coefficient of determination, the closer it is to 100% or 1, the better. Now, the R2 square is showing less than 30% for all across the models. These models are very good. If they can capture non-linear relationship, they are complex, they are robust, they are scalable. So for them to have the same range of R2 score, it shows that this data set lacks sufficient features and therefore is limiting the model's predictive power. Look at the mean absolute error as well. It's 152. Does that mean that if I'm using this model, applying it to predict for a price that is for a jewelry maybe costing me $50, and I'm applying this model, that means the predicted price will be around $200? That is not good. That is triple the price of the actual price. So I'm thinking out there, could it be that the data set I have has poor features that is not allowing these models to perform as they should? This slide is to show that I track the models on ML flow, and this is the end result showing the graphs. It's the same thing as the previous slide, is showing the same results, the same R2 square, and the same MAE and MSC results. Now, let me just quickly tell you that SG Boost performed better than the others, but by a slight margin, followed by Random Forest, Gradient Boosting, and Light GBM. In conclusion to this, I will recommend that the Gemini Emporium invest in data quality. I had to clean up the data, and I lost 20% to corrupt and invalid data. There should be an emphasis that data quality should be adhered to, because so that in order to improve future analytics and decision making. The second thing I will let them have, they should invest in data set expansion. I mean, for a company that is dealing with luxurious goods, I should expect that weight or purity grade should be part of the features. If you go to the market and you want to buy gems like diamond or gold, you ask for the weight or the carats. So that particular feature was missing. So another thing I think that should be there is the design complexity. There are some handmade jewelries and some machine-made jewelries. We all know that handcrafted jewelries are expensive than machine-made. That features is also missing. If that features maybe that could have helped the model to perform better. And another feature that I think that is missing is the seasonal sales pattern. I mean, as a jewelry industry, there should be a tracker for when you have high sales. Is it during the wedding season? Is it during the holiday season or the Valentine's Day season? Customer-specific features such as age group and income brackets. Even customer location matters. It's because if we have this information, we're able to strategically price your items in some locations. Because, like you said, I mean, people go to Dubai to buy gold. If you are in Dubai, if the company is based in Dubai, they could actually increase their prices there because, I mean, there are lovers of gold there. So they could make more sales in those regions. But this features is missing in this data set. So I believe that's why we are having this poor result. I mean, the features that are important are missing, and the models are doing their job and they're getting the same range. So the suggestion is that when next this company should invest in data quality, data set expansion, and the likes in order to get a more better result. Now, let me tell you that I intend to work further on this project, and my intention is that I want to perform target transformation. I'm thinking out there, could I have applied log transformation to the price model to reduce the price of large prices? Well, that's my next step in my future work. And also, I could also do polynomial regression by combining features, like combining the main gem, main metal. I mean, maybe probably I'll get a better result. And most importantly, could I do cluster pricing by adjusting for the price? I mean, by analyzing the price, I could split them into the low, medium, and high. As I observed that 75% of $500, I will then apply training model for each segment. Well, that's the future work that I intend to do. Now, next is to show you my Streamlit demo of how I implemented this. So this is the welcome page for the jewelry price prediction app. The first step is let me clear the screen. The first is to load the data set. Mind you, this is already clean data set. And as you can see, it's showing the shape at 77,000 plus and 7 features. Now I click on the data analysis. I already plotted two for jury category distribution by gender and the jury categorical distribution. Now for the model training and evaluation, there's an option for users to choose between 10% and 50% test size. I'm going for 30% test size. And because of time, and I don't want to, because random forest take time to train, I'm going to take SG Boost and Light GBM. The option now is running, and there's an option for you to also track this model. Once the matrix populates, I will go ahead and click on this explore the ML flow tracking server to show you that I integrated ML flow into this Streamlit app. Yeah, so it has finished and it has finished populating. Now let me quickly show you the ML flow tracking server. Now, these are the two models I just clicked. Trained Light GBM and SG Boost. If I want to show the comparison between the two models, I can just click on them and click on compare, and I can click on the metrics I want to see. I mean, this is just to clearly show that if I'm not satisfied with the result of the model, I can register and load this model using the ML flow tracker. Now, let me show you how to, the next is to predict the price using this train model. Now, let me quickly click on SG Boost and the category as earring. I want to predict the price for this earring, brand, female, red color, gold, and diamond. The actual price for this input parameter is actually $150. But the predicted price is $429, making a difference of $279. That's 184% relative error. This indicated that the model is struggling to predict accurately for jury. I said it before when I was presenting on the slide that the auto score was low. Definitely, I'm not expecting something fantastic. I mean, there's a need for us to invest in data expansion, like I said before, data expansion, data cleaning. That's why we are getting this abysmal result. Let me click on another brand or another maybe on the ring. Let's see another result or prediction. Still same, I'm still using SGB Boost, but you can use any model you want, but SG Boost is very fast in prediction, training and prediction. Now for this particular input, the parameters, the actual price is $472, but the predicted is $419. So there's a relative error of 11%. So I mean, this is not so bad like the previous one. So it's half and half, but at the same time, I'm just letting you know how that the auto square was quite poor. So I'm not expecting anything fantastic when I'm using it as a prediction. Hence the need for us to, for the company to invest in data quality, data expansion, and also to get, to get more market plan for all this. I mean, that's what I believe. I think this is where I'll now stop presenting and let everybody ask questions if you want to, or they can ask questions, anything. But this is the end of my Streamlit demo. Thank you.
All right, so thank you very, very much, Kehinde. So just give me a moment, rather, let me share my slides. And guys, if you have a question, Kehinde is still on the call. I need you to use the raise hand icon, or you could send a message to the chat. So we'll read it up from there and we'll give you feedback. Okay, so let me just bring back my slides and we'll be good to go. And I can say a message as regards getting the recording for this session. I believe my colleague in the chat, she's sending a link. All you need to do is fill that link and then you get an email of the entire session. But I want to emphasize on this. Let me just share my slides and we'll be good. All right. Now, if you are on this call and please confirm you can see my screen first of all. All right, so if you're on this call and this is you right now, I don't know, for some reasons, I have a feeling that this is some persons in terms of, oh, okay, what is she doing? What is SG Boost? What is R Square? What is MAE? What is MF? I can literally read your mind right now. All right, but I need you to calm down. I need to be calm and then just follow me closely. So again, if you have questions, I need you to either use the icon or send it in the chat, and we have Kehinde on the call and she will take them for you. Trust me, she's literally a professional right now. But then again, the big question now is, how can you become proficient? Because if you think about what you have learned, all right, when you were learning, let's say, data science basics and all of that, when you compare it to what is actually done when you are like working in an SWE team or like in an organization, there's a big gap and you'll be surprised. Okay, so moving to my next slide, just follow me closely, guys. I want us to see statistics as regards Africans that are transitioning or Africans that currently work right in the industry. This is a report that was carried out by the University of Oxford, right? You can clearly see that I want us to focus on, I believe we can see my screen clearly. I want us to focus on healthcare, where we can see sub-Saharan Africa, and then we see 29%. And we move to information and communication and technology, all right? And we can see like 6%. So you can see that for most Africans, when there's like a relocation or in terms of the work that they do, there's less representation in the technological industry. And the main reason for all of this is just your knowledge gap. It's just in terms of your skill level. Yes, you have an idea of what data science entails. I believe this is the problem for many beginners or for persons transitioning into data science without a background. So yes, you've learned the foundation, but how can you move from just what everybody knows to being proficient? All right, and this is what we do at Amdari. So if you're currently on this call and then you are in a scenario whereby you're still thinking of the fact that you have so much to learn or how you can get technical experts, trust me, guys, that is one of the reasons why I am very, very, very intentional about Amdari. Because if you were learning in the past, I said this earlier, you would have to go through a lot of YouTube videos. Trust me, if you're not paying for courses or you're not sleeping on Udemy or you're not going to fix your bug or check what somebody else has written, right? It's literally draining. All right, so what Amdari does is it consolidates this program. Okay, so just give me a moment. So what Amdari does is it consolidates all of these issues and gives you like an all expense combined solution to your problem. All right. Again, think about this. You have learned the foundations of data science. Now you want to, let's say, cross the conventional level of just being another data scientist in the market. What we do as Amdari, we give you access to projects, most especially, because that is our goal here at Amdari. We have seen that it's obvious, because when I get to interview people and then I speak with them as regards what they've done, it's just the normal conventional, let's say, data science projects or beginner stuff they've done on their Jupyter notebook. There's nothing as regards experiment tracking. There's nothing as regards pushing into production. There's nothing as regards showing a demo of the steps and then the output of when you put in your data in the pipeline, you go through the model and then we get a prediction that's shown to the user right on the front end. So what we do as Amdari, we offer you an all-in-one solution to all your career problems. All right, so you can see we provide internship opportunities, mentorship sessions, 250 plus guided projects, your CV revamp session, an international job conference letter, a portfolio website builder, LinkedIn optimization, a global job board, and employability session. I know that if you are literally on this call and you're still thinking, how is this possible or how does it work? I want you to follow me closely and I will demo the structure of Amdari. So think about this. We have collaborations or with our partners that have problems that they are trying to solve. Okay, so we have businesses that we work with them to understand the problem that they're trying to solve. So what we do at Amdari, we are literally the middleman. So we get these problems and then we bring you up as a data science consultant so we can see Kehinde on the call. That's why I placed emphasis on the beginning that I'm literally not going to be doing anything. Kehinde is going to show you the entire process of the project that she has worked on, and you would see the demo directly from her PC. So I'm not like behind the scene trying to tell her that, oh, okay, I need to do this, I need to duplicate my code and all of this. No, this is literally her own work. So what we do is when you come on as a data science consultant with us, we get to split you into teams and then you work on this problems. Guys, remember that the first stage of any data science project that you are trying to solve is what? Understanding the problem that you're trying to solve. That's your ask, your preparation before you move on to, oh, okay, do I have the data for this? Is my data answering key questions set by my stakeholders? Do I need to explore? Do I need EDA? Do I need feature engineering? So do I need to, let's say, encode or in terms of scaling or normalizing my data? So you get to go through that process. And in that process of you interacting with diverse projects and for different use cases, that's how you get better. Not really the only way you get better, but the fastest way for you to get better. Because when persons come to me as regards, oh, hi, Barima, I want to enter into data science, or I've started learning for the past couple of months, what I just tell them, are you not tired of learning from my own experience, from what has worked for me? All right, working on diverse projects gets your leg faster into the organization, all right, than you just continuously learning and spending a lot of time and resources getting what, in quotes, getting the foundation. So we give you these projects, you get to work on them, and you get to present them in terms of your findings, in terms of what you decipher, because when you now start working, this entire flow from the elicitation phase to your data gathering or requirement analysis to your final production and then communication with your stakeholders, is not going to seem extremely strange to you. Okay, remember I mentioned this is why this is why we are pushing Amdari out, because this is literally solving your own problem. All you need to do is to be intentional about going through the project and the resources that we provide for you here at Amdari. And guys, the icing on the cake is the fact that, oh, this is now your evidence. Because when you go for, let's say, an interview, or you have to speak with an HR manager or the interviewing team, you would have to show previous records of what you have done. So imagine if you've been learning data science since last 2 years and there's like literally no detailed documentation, or your GitHub is empty, or you don't have like a portfolio or any of that. Guys, if you're currently on this call, you need to change. Okay, so coming back to my slides, aside you getting technical competency, we offer a range of sessions for you to upskill in terms of employability. If I come to my screen, we can see one-on-one CV revamp session, your LinkedIn optimization session, mentorship session, career coaching session, interview preparation, access to a remote job board, online portfolio builder, job reference. Guys, I know that in your head or your mind, you're thinking, is this actually possible? What I recommend is I want you to go to Amdari platform, all right, and sign up. So let me share that screen and let me just demo it. I can see some messages as regards getting the recording for this session. All you need to do is fill the form that Tomiwa is sending to the chat and you would be good to go. So guys, confirm that you can see my screen. I believe it's still loading. I think my network is like lagging, but all right, guys, confirm that you can see the screen. I need a reaction. Oh, thank you very much, Kehinde. Confirm that you can see my screen clearly. Okay, so now when you go to Google and you search for Amdari, this the very first link that comes up, I want you to click on it. And what I always recommend, when I come to my projects and then I click on all projects, I come to data science. So give me a moment, let me click on data science. All right, you would have access to that. When you go to Amdari and you sign up right now, you'd have access to, I believe you have access to 3, 6 or 7 projects thereabouts. But I want you to work on them. That's always the recommendation that I give. Go to the platform and work on the project and then come back to tell me your own experience. Okay, because there's always the buzz about, oh, are we really going to work on reward projects? Am I coming here to learn from the basics, or am I coming here just to go through another data science project? No. Okay, if you're on this call, you need to have learned data science. We are not coming here to teach you from, oh, okay, what is data science or what is prediction or machine learning. We don't do that here. Our sole goal is to ensure that, oh, we get as much Africans, as much Nigerians move from the conventional stage of being mediocre to being technically proficient. So guys, go on Google and search for Amdari, and when you sign up, I want you to intentionally go through the free projects that we have and come back for, let's say, a review. Okay, so remember I spoke about a job board and also your portfolio. When I click on this, my job board, that's after signing up for Amdari, and then I come here and I type, let's say, data science. You know, naturally, if let's say you were applying for a job, you'd have to either set an alert on, let's say, LinkedIn, Indeed, or Glassdoor, and all of that. But what Amdari does for you, again, the reason why I am emphasizing on the fact that Amdari is saving a lot of our problems. So if this was me, if I had Amdari like a couple of years back or a couple of months back, all right, this literally have skyrocketed my own learning journey. And then we are bringing you this. Okay, so coming back to my screen, you notice that there are jobs that you could just check, first of all, if the job description synchronizes with your current skill set. And that is also why we have the CV review session and then the employability sessions here at Amdari. So you get to learn, oh, how do I pass ATS? How do I structure my CV? What do I do when I have an interview session? Or what techniques or steps do I take, okay, to be selected amongst the crowd? Now, coming back to my own portfolio, trust me, this is a game changer if you sign up for Amdari. So it's just as if instead of you going through a software dev and then trying to create your portfolio from scratch, trying to give all of the specifications, trying to post and all of that, all you need to do is just fill in a form and your portfolio gets generated for you. So this is me. I'm a data scientist from Nigeria. My years of experience, the tools I am proficient are at the project I have completed. Then this is just my bio. I could click on this to edit this. All right, then let me just scroll down, and then the projects I have worked on, my specializations, my tools, my skills, the experience that I have. Then when I'm scrolling down to my education, my social media channel. So when I click on this, let me just share this tab instead. So this links directly to my LinkedIn profile. So you can clearly see that, oh, I really don't need to go through the stress of trying to allocate another budget to hosting my website or trying to, let's say, build from scratch again. So that is what Amdari does for you. Guys, are we still on this call? But my own emphasis when I am speaking to persons, these are just specs. Okay, you get access to the job board. Awesome. You get access to a portfolio. Awesome. But guys, in terms of your skills, if you've met me before, you know I'm really, really intentional about this. In terms of your own skill sets, okay, so is it just, are you still sticking with only your notebook and that's just it? Or are you going through the normal conventional, oh, I want to predict Titanic data set or all of that, or predict the side of a flower, or what they call that data set again. I think it's like petal flowers, guys, right? It's high time you go past that conventional stage of being at the basics. So just give me a moment. Let me share this tab instead and we'll be good to go. So guys, are we on this call or we've left me? Are we excited about what Amdari has to offer? I need the responses from us on the chat. Oh yeah, Said sent Iris data set. Exactly. If you've ever gone through a data science training and you didn't use this Iris data set, I think that there's something wrong, literally. Okay, so coming back to my slides. Remember I mentioned Amdari is like an all expense, inclusive, consolidated, that's the right word, because you have a lot of functionalities embedded in our platform. Again, you need to get technically competent. So yes, as a data scientist, you can actually demo as a data analyst because there are some projects that I have worked on that were specific to data analysis, but because my own skill set matched with the requirements for the organization, I could work in that project. Okay, so you can work as a data scientist, ML engineer, big data analyst, demand planning, analyst in terms of computer vision engineering, but the key difference that is stopping you is the fact that you need to become proficient. If you've joined our sessions previously, we always emphasize on the fact that the kind of mediocrity that we've seen, it is alarming. Like, no offense, it is alarming. We need to start sitting up in terms of trying to close the gap. Okay, because when persons say, oh, I am aspiring this, I am all of this, I am trying to be, I want to be, what is differentiating you between your current status and what you admire? It's just what the knowledge gap that you need to close. And the only way you can close that knowledge gap is by being intentional about what? About learning. So guys, again, I'm telling you, as you're on this call, I want you to just go to your Google Chrome, or if you're using Safari, I want you to search, look up Amdari. Then I want you to register for the projects that we offer. All right, then click on it and go through them. Okay, then you have access to document them on your GitHub profile or whatsoever you use as or your portfolio. Okay, so now this is the Amdari job board that I spoke about. All right, so once you're registered with us, you have access to search for jobs, and then if they synchronize with your own skills, you can then apply. And then I can see messages as regards, oh, when is the data science internship starting? It is starting on the 7th of January next year. And then we don't just offer data science trainings, because when I come back to our homepage, just follow me closely. So this is our Amdari homepage. All right, so when I click on, let's say, Rave, I know you are wondering what Rave means. Let me just scroll down. You'd see Rave, Remote Apprenticeship Virtual Experience Program by Amdari, transforms this hurdle into opportunity with real world industry projects. So the emphasis that we have, or that we place on here at Amdari, is the fact that you have already learned, you have the foundational basics of the understanding. What you just need to do is come with us. We give you a contract that you sign, because when I click on register now, I'm going to scroll down, and then these are what we offer in terms of the projects or the internship experiences that we offer. So if you're a data scientist now, like I am, so I'm just going to click on what? Apply now, and I'm going to just scroll down. Okay, so we can see all we have to offer. So you come to us at Amdari as a data science consultant. I believe that's why I'm so happy that Kehinde was on this call, because most times there's the idea of, oh, these guys are experienced, they've done it before, so it's going to come easy for them. But in reality, what you just need to do is be intentional about learning. So even if you join the experience program and you are not intentional about learning, you're not doing what you're supposed to do in terms of collaborating with your team members, in terms of your work, in terms of you pushing your code, in terms of you learning how to communicate and all of the employability sessions, you are going to lose out on a lot. So it's just as if it's going to be a wasted effort. All right, so guys, you need to be intentional about what? About learning. All right, so these are the technology and the tools that you would use while working on various projects. Again, I want you to go on the Amdari platform, sign up and go through the free projects that we have. and you would be good, or you would have like an intuition about what you can learn when you come to Amdari. So coming back to my slides, we have extended the registration for this project to the 22nd of December. So yes, you will be starting your internship experience on the 7th of January, that's next year. But we need to ensure in terms of the collaborations, in terms of the teams that you're working on, everything is right in place before you proceed. And now, in terms of the cost for this training session, this is originally $400 or 400,000 naira. But right now, we are running a discount of what? A 25% discount, where you get to pay $300 for the international experience, and then you get to pay 300,000 naira for the Nigerian experience. And guys, if you are wondering what the difference between the international experience and the Nigerian experience is, all you need to do, you can see this as highlighted in yellow. So for the international experience, when let's say you apply for a job, or you, in terms of grad school or in terms of your applications, and then you need a reference from Amdari, you get access to 2 years of work in reference from us. But if you are signed up for the Nigerian experience, you get access to just a year of reference letter from us, guys. And the amazing thing about Amdari is you get to pay in 3 instrumental payments. Guys, I mentioned initially at the beginning of this call, your main focus should be in terms of the technicality, in terms of getting proficient. Emphasis on that. Yes, Amdari would offer you a lot in terms of the job board, in terms of the portfolio, in terms of the interface and all of that. But you should not forget the main goal of you trying to get technical proficiency, and all of this, all of the factors or all of the sessions that you would have while you are signed up for our internship experience would accumulate towards you getting an advanced role as a data scientist. All right, so I can see Tomiwa already sending messages on the call. If you, let's say you're on the call and then you don't have, or you have like a lot of questions as regards what the next steps are or what you should do. All right, so there is something that we call your clarity session, a one-on-one clarity session. So you jump on the call, you get to speak to our professionals, and then they advise you as regards the next, or you dialogue as regards the next course of action. And guys, again, at Amdari, we are not teaching you the basics. Amdari is solely centered around closing the gap between your foundational knowledge and you trying to achieve proficiency, you trying to be technically competent. If you're on this call, you know, I don't need to point you out, you know internally that, in terms of my skill set and what Kehinde did on this call, I literally have no idea. Okay, so that's actually the second, I believe that's the second stage of learning, in terms of you being conscious that, I am actually incompetent in this stage or in this aspect or in this domain. Incompetent is in the sense that, your current skill level doesn't match up to industry standards. So what you need to do is just close the gap as regards your own skill level. So guys, I don't know, do we have any questions? I'll be bringing Kehinde back up if you have any questions for her. Remember, I'm just here as a placeholder. Okay, Kehinde is the host for today, right? We can see what she individually went through, the project in terms of our presentation and all of that. So what you need to do, you can just use her as a motivation for yourself. Let me put it that way, that literally, if she can do it, and she's a Mrs. in quotes, all right, in quotes, and if she can do it, I'm trying to understand what exactly is stopping you from doing that. Okay, so do we have any questions for Kehinde? And we can send it to the chat, or we can use the icon. So I can see, okay, Tomiwa already responded to that. Let's see, when's data science internship? Okay, that begins on the 7th of January. Then, the Iris data set, that's what I was speaking about at the beginning, and also the Titanic data set. So guys, do we have questions for us? Do we have questions specifically for Kehinde? Are we good? Are we good? We could use the icon, or we could send it to the chat, and then we'll read that for us. Okay, so Kehinde, I think that you bamboozled everybody on the call. Oh my goodness. I think that's what's happening, because I'm not getting questions, I'm not getting feedback, but I believe that we enjoyed ourselves. I believe that we saw the entire workflow from you cleaning and exploring your data to the aspect of what pushing your code to production, to a production demo, yes, and then tracking the flow of the entire experiment. Guys, do we have more questions? If we do not have questions, we'll be calling it a day. But I
Wait,
need us
hold
to
on a
send in
minute. I have a
our questions.
question.
Oh my goodness, I was waiting for you to say that, but yeah, go on.
All right, good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening to
Kenny,
you.
you did a very, very fantastic job at defending this project. Okay, so I want to know, did you use any statistics? Like, did you have to write long mathematical or statistical equations? Because that is one challenge I have now. Um I've learned the skills of data science, but I have not really worked as a data scientist. I just have one project under my belt, so I'm still struggling with statistics. I heard you. I saw the formulas you used, but I don't know if you had to do any workings or you just implemented the theory based off of uh linear regression and stuff. So
No, so
I'm asking,
you're
did you have
asking me.
to?
Okay,
Yeah,
please go ahead. Please
yeah.
go
Did you
ahead.
have
Yeah.
to? Did you have to um do statistics? Like, do you have did you have to write or calculate anything?
No. So what happened is that this the I'm thinking you are talking about the R2 square, the mean absolute error, and also the mean square error,
Yeah,
right?
that's that part. Yeah,
No, you don't need to. There's a library called scikit-learn that you can import that
yeah,
and
yeah. I
apply
know,
straight
I know.
off. So I mean,
So
you can
okay,
call it into your models, and that's all. I mean, like
yeah,
I said,
yeah,
guys,
yeah, yeah.
that's what you can do. Statistics is now being embedded in scikit-learn. All those models I'm calling out for you, random forest.
But you know,
There's statistics
the
behind
reason
it.
the reason I'm sorry,
Mhm.
I'm cutting you short. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead,
I've
please.
done I've done my project was on diabetes prediction with machine learning.
Yeah,
So I know a lot about scikit-learn. But what I'm
yeah.
saying is, the reason I'm asking you this question is, I've watched some data science interviews on YouTube. The kind of questions they ask, my goodness, man, it's they were very, very intense questions. They were just hammering on statistics in most of those interviews. So
Mm.
it gave me some cause for concern, actually.
All right. So I think
So I
I'll
want to know.
provide. Yeah.
I want to know if I should go and brush up my statistical skills again before I sign up to Amdari, or do you think I can learn statistics on the go?
Well, let me just give, before Brian comes in, I just want to let you know that you need to understand the metrics. You need to understand the statistics. If you are going for that kind of interview, before you should have, I know that you need to prepare, but you cannot expect you cannot, I mean, expect picture that they're going to ask you. Now, if I want to apply such metrics in my model, I need to understand what they are doing. I may not have studied statistics, but if you ask me what the absolute square is doing, I can explain it to you. What the mean absolute error is doing, I can explain it to you. So what I go is that I do some further research. Oh, why am I using this for my model, for my regression analysis? What is it going to do for me? So because I need to tell a story that after using these metrics, the result came out this way, and why the reason the result came out that way is because of so reason. So if you don't understand the metrics in the first place, you cannot tell the story. Are you getting my logic?
Yeah, I get you. Is there a textbook I can get all these? For example, I know that there's this hands-on data science it's a textbook by one of this widely publisher anyways, but it's very, very it has good details about statistical concepts and all that. I want to know if
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
wise to use those
Okay.
textbooks.
Let me tell you why is why. It's two things. If you're the type of person that can take a book and read and you like that, then good for you. But why don't you go through ChatGPT or Gemini? I mean, those ones can actually break down that matrix or statistics. I mean, I understand that you want to learn it from the onset, but ChatGPT, Gemini, AI, you can actually put your questions there and type, what does this matrix do? Give me an example. Give me a code, a Python code. Run a sample of a Python code to generate. ChatGPT and Gemini are good to go. They can give you all the information you need. Not learn the basic or the foundation, but they very summarize that for you. I mean, if you're going back to the books, it's fine. But I myself, I don't have patience for the books. Let me go to ChatGPT. ChatGPT is explain this like a layman's term, the simpler term. Make it simple, break it down, use examples, use codes. Let me know what this code is doing, what this matrix is doing. Are you getting my logic, please?
Yeah, I get you.
All right, so I wanted to emphasize on what Kehinde mentioned and also answer your question. That's Ose Goodman. Yeah, I believe I pronounced that correctly. I think what's happening.
But truthfully, I want to hear your own version right now.
Yeah, so I think what's happening to you right now is they call it fear of missing out. That's what I think is happening right now. So the very first thing is the basics of data science. They will tell you in the industry statistics. All right, so yes, you need to have a foundational understanding of, okay, your measures of dispersion, measures of central tendency, hypothesis testing, A and B, and all of that. But if I'm practically honest with you, there are people that literally go to uni and then spend 5 years and 6 years or 7 years studying statistics in school. So that's like an entirely different domain. Okay, but I want to emphasize on the fact that in terms of learning, all right, in terms of, let's say, you becoming proficient, the fastest way you would get better is by working on projects. Let's say from what Kehinde mentioned, if I see R square and I don't know it yet, I would have to go and look up. And the book you are referring to, the author is already. They have a book as regards statistics, they have on data science from scratch, they have on fast API, they have on LLMs and the rest. So you would have to go and do that research to understand, what am I supposed to do? What is this metric calculating? What is it solving? So that's the entire context of what we are pushing out to you. So instead of you going to, let's say, find a book, and then you have to spend a lot of time always learning, and then there's no end to it. You get to work on a project directly. So that project, recall, if you see the entire flow of you interning with us at Amdari, you get to work on teams, you get to work on diverse projects, and working on projects stresses you. If I'm being practically honest with you, we are not just going to hand everything to you. Yes, you have coaches. We're not going to write the code and give it to you. You have to do your research. When you are presenting, you have to explain to us, what is the purpose of doing this? Why did I utilize this step? If you notice from what Kehinde was demoing, all right, so my own advice to you, the fear of, because when you're like starting out and then you go on YouTube, I'm going to be honest with you, it's almost as if you've not done anything, or rather you're not learning data science at all. But in closing that gap, emphasis on in closing that gap, work on projects. So right now, if you can pick up a statistics project, all right, and then just work on it, you'll be shocked at what you can learn in that period of time, all right, compared to the fact that you're going to read the entire book. Reading the entire book is nice. It's awesome. It gives you like a foundational understanding, because naturally, like, statistics is embedded in data science. All right, the whole computations, right now from scikit-learn, you just call in the formula and all of that. But in core statistics, you would see the computations as regards, this is what it's doing. This is how my weights and my are allotted, rather, and all of that. All right, so does that answer your question? So one assignment for you, I want you to find a statistics project this night and work on it. Trust me, it will make you, no, I'm not kidding, I'm being serious. It will make you when you see like some stuff or some lines of code that are extremely weird, you would have to go and search. And then leveraging AI, as Kehinde mentioned, you also have to make life easier for yourself, except if you're anti-AI and then you want to, let's say, look up articles or stuff like that. That's fine on you. Okay, that gives you like a real world insight as to regards the context that you're trying to understand. Okay, my own advice, working on projects, I want you to find a statistics project, right, and work on it. And trust me, compare your knowledge base before and after, not just rushing through the code, but understanding what is going on and each of the variables that they have, what they do. Trust me, and being practically honest, you would learn faster that way. Okay, so I hope that answers your question. Do we have more questions on the call? And again, if you...
Yeah, thank you. You answered my question.
Oh, all right, you're welcome. So Miracle is saying, I can't find any spot for software developers like me. So no, we currently do not offer internship experiences for software developers, but we'll be looking into that in the future. Okay, so let me just go back to that slide and then pull that up. We can see data analytics, data science, data engineering, financial analytics, HR analytics, business analysis, project manager, and then cybersecurity. That is what we currently offer. Okay, so guys, do we have more questions? Do we have more questions? Do we have more questions? And I want us to speak, because if you're on this call, it means that you have identified a gap and you are intentional about closing that gap. Trust me, that is what we do at Amdari. That's just the sole focus, because you know it's obvious. You know, like, you know the quote, man, know thyself. You know deep down that in terms of my skill level, right, and in terms of being called this actual tech bro or tech sis, something is happening. There's an obvious gap that you need to close, guys. So I want to take more questions from us. If you're currently on the call and you've not filled the form that Tomiwa is sent into the chat, I need you to do that so you can get access to the materials that we used for this session.
Also, one more question here. Sorry.
Go on.
For data science, I realized that so if you apply to some company there, they ask you to do, sorry, my voice is taking, I'm outside. They ask you to do some coding. And those codings are actually based on data structures and algorithms. So where you have to, provide or propose solutions to some problems. Do you think we're going to, do any, would there be something like that during the program?
All right, so now I want to mention that that's you moving to the engineering side of data science. What I will tell you.
No, it's not. I've applied for some programs like graduate data science
yes.
job roles, and
exactly. Yeah, go
boy,
on.
I saw it told me to do some codes, man, on data structures and algorithms. My leg is shaking. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Okay, so I think Manding wants to provide an answer to that before I speak.
Manding, hey, my guy. I'm glad you're here. Okay.
Before I speak. And again, the fear of missing out. Good man. The fear of missing out. Let me emphasize on that. But Manding, you can go
on. Okay, first off, great presentation, Mrs. Kehinde. And this is actual good question that you asked, Mr. Ose. Right. So that data science algorithm and structure, question is not just specific to just data science alone. Right. So I guess that's why Premier said it's when you are looking at what's the engineering aspect of things. Right now, data science and data algorithms and structure helps you in writing algorithms, right? And then that this is not something that is native to data science alone, right? Whether you are tilted towards software development, whether you are tilted towards building just core computer programming and stuff, right? Data structures and algorithm is extremely important because it equips you with skills to know how to write efficient code that will utilize the space somewhat on your machine effectively, right? So that is just a concept that is borrowed from computer science and engineering into data science, right? And then since you know that data science is like an amalgamation of computer science, statistics, and then business domain knowledge, right? So those are some of those things or concept that we borrowed from computer engineering. And then any interview process where you get asked that question, right? I think what the interviewers want is that they want to be sure that you can write efficient and you can write codes that are highly optimized. Right, so it's not something I want us to be clear on. This is not something that is just native to data science alone. And then as to whether we are training on that at Amdari, right? No, if you could recall, I think earlier Bremer made mention of this, right? We don't do trainings here, right? Amdari is specifically an experience based service, right? So here we give you just as my colleague Ms. Premier explained, right here we give you the experience of working on projects. We give you that platform to work on those projects, and then we expose you to some of those industry tools that are being used, and will make you make you more productive as a data science professional or as any data professional. And yep, and then I think that's pretty much it. So I hope that answers your question, Mr. Ose.
I think you're muted if you're speaking.
Yeah, I'm here. Okay, so thank you so much, Mr. Martin.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so the thing is, you rightly said that it's data structures and algorithms. Yeah, is spread across data engineering, computer science, and data science, and other areas that involves utilizing code to solve problems. Yeah. Now that means that to get into this program, I need sufficient knowledge of DS, that's data structures and algorithms, right?
I'm going to. I would say I'm going to. I have to answer for this, right? So one, right? You may need the knowledge, right? Why? Because it will help you to be able to write highly efficient and optimized codes. That's one, right? And then secondly, I would say no. Why? Because that knowledge is not like it should not be a stumbling block towards to your progress, right? Because the truth is that if you look at where the world is heading towards to now, right, we are heading more towards to an AI age, right? I don't know if you guys are following up the news, but I think just yesterday or early this morning, GitHub Copilot, Microsoft and the owners of GitHub Copilot have decided to open source GitHub Copilot as a tool. Right, so what that means is that you have a coding assistant in your IDE. That's if you are making use of VS Studio Code to write your code 247. Right. So now what this brings to the table is that you no longer have the need to cram codes. You no longer have the need to be a top-notch programmer. Right. You don't have the need, there is no longer need for you to be like the best programmer in the whole block before you can get opportunities, or before you can write cool and efficient codes. Right. With AI, right, you can just simply describe the kind of function that I want. Like, take for instance, if I'm writing a pipeline, and then I would want to have a pipeline that would, let's say, that will extract the data from this place, maybe transform the data a bit, right? And then let's say I don't have the programming knowledge, or I don't know Python well enough to do that. I can just simply use a prompt, right? And then prompt my AI, maybe GitHub Copilot, maybe Gemini, maybe ChatGPT, right? And then it's going to give me the code that will do that. And all I have to do is to copy that code and then place it there, right? So your knowledge in program would help you. Why? Because it will help you in debugging your code source, right? Maybe the kind of the code that was given to you by the AI is a bit faulty in a way, right? So if you have a background knowledge in programming, debugging becomes like extremely easy, right? But then in terms of the whole program being fully dependent on you knowing the teeth, the basics of programming, and I think we are gone past that particular stage as of this particular point in time. Right? Maybe this would have been important. It was important 5 years ago, 10 years back, 5 years back, 10 years back, and the lot. But right now, right, the ball has changed. The playing field has AI has drastically leveled the playing field, right? You now, right, you can be on the same pedestal as someone who has spent the last 5 years in learning computer science, right? Because the code that person will sit down and crack his head and spend 1 week to write, right? You now with AI can just recreate that in like 10 minutes or even 5 minutes tops, right? So that's why I said my answer is in two ways. Say, right, so on one hand, it's good for you to know these things, right? It's good for you to have an idea of data structure. It's good for you to know basic programming principles, right? And then but on the other hand, if you want to be that 10 times so let's say if you want to be that 10 times data scientist, right? If you want to be efficient, you have to know how to integrate these AI tools and then use them for your own benefit. I hope that answers your question, Mr. Ose. Hello.
So he's muted.
Okay, so thank you.
All right, so thank you very much for that, Mandiang. So guys, do we have any more questions? And let me emphasize on the fact that we have a one-on-one clarity session. So these questions, when you jump on a call with our professionals, you can ask them and you would get what their opinions and their best advice as regards the next strategy that you should take as a data science professional. All right, so there's a link that Tomiwa sent as regards, Calendly. All you need to do is click on it and then sign up for a one-on-one session, or you could also fill in the attendance form or send a message to the number that she has dropped on the chat. So if we do not have more questions, we are ending this session now. All right, so do well to reach out to us if you have issues or if you're currently in our community. And lastly, I want you to currently, right now, as you're on the call, go to our Amdari platform and sign up and then work on a project that's there. Compare your knowledge before and after the project, guys, and I trust that there will be like a significant difference. So cheers and see you in our next session, and we hope to have you join us here at Amdari. So have a good evening, guys. Can I get a reaction to know that we are good? All right, so yeah, thank you very much, Kehinde. Thank you for taking out your time to join us and to show your good works and evidence that you are a data science professional. So have a good evening, everyone.